afternoon, dear viewers. It's the international news at MRU TV. I'm Nampijja Resty. India and China to pull back from disputed border. Boris Johnson pledges supplies to poor countries at G7. News in details. Relations between India and China have been worsening in recent months. The two world powers are facing off against each other along their disputed border in Himalayan region. Matilda has the details.
Relations between India and China have been worsening in recent months. The two world powers are facing off against each other along their disputed border in Himalayan region. The root cause is an ill-defined 3,440 km along disputed border. Rivers, lakes, and snow camps along the frontier mean the line can shift, bringing soldiers face to face at many points, sparking a confrontation. The two nations are also competing to build infrastructure along the border. India's construction of a new road to a high-altitude air base is seen as one of the main triggers for a clash with Chinese troops in June that left at least 20 Indian soldiers dead. The most recent skirmish on 20 January left troops on both sides injured. It took place along the border in India's Sikkim state, which is sandwiched between Bhutan and Nepal. The two countries have fought only one war in 1962 when India suffered a humiliating defeat by Matilda Namakade, MRU.
Boris Johnson will pledge to donate most of the UK's surplus vaccine supply to poorer countries in a speech to a virtual G7 meeting on Friday. Winnie has the details.
Boris Johnson will pledge to donate most of the UK's surplus vaccine supply to poorer countries in a speech to a vital G7 meeting on Friday. He will urge rich countries to back a 100-day target for the developing new vaccines for future emerging diseases. The UK has ordered more than 400 million doses of various vaccines, so many people will be left over once all adults are vaccinated. Decisions on when and how much of the supplies will be distributed will be made later this year, with ministers taking into account the supply chain and whether booster shots are needed in the autumn. French President Emmanuel Macron has told the Financial Times richer countries should send up to 4 to 5% of their current vaccine supplies to poor nations. The UK government has donated $548 million to the scheme, to which the US pledged $4 billion in December. Almost 17 people in the UK have now received at least one vaccine dose. Nampijja Resty, MRU TV.
A train and 18 weather have collided in Texas, causing a huge explosion and a cloud of smoke from the scene. Nampijja Resty has the details.
An 18-wheeler hit the side of a train carrying liquid petroleum on Tuesday morning in Milan County, causing a huge explosion and smoke forming a cloud on the scene. As for now, no injuries or deaths have been reported, according to the Milan County's Sheriff Chris White, who said that they received a call at 6:40 a.m. on Tuesday. The incident happened outside Cameroon between Austin and Dallas near FM 2095, but both the train conductors and the 18-wheeler driver emerged to survive and escaped with no injuries.
Was impacted by a vehicle that caused a derailment of several of our train cars. At least 10 of them have been impacted by fire, and we've been working with local authorities.
DPS said southbound lights and relays were down activated and one vehicle was stopped waiting, and he continued to say that the 18-wheeler driver was distracted, went around the car and hit the train, then deflected the other way away from the car. The train was carrying coal and gasoline in the front, which caused the huge fire and smoke, said the Sheriff White. Temple Fire Department along with BNSF have crews carrying from Houston and Dallas to help extinguish the fire out with foam. But the fire is too hot, so officials are letting the fire burn a little. Sheriff White said A garage-type structure near the tankers did burn down, but no one was hurt, and about 11 cars went off the tracks. All homes in the surrounding were evacuated and the major threat is over, said Sheriff White. Nampijja Resty, MRU TV.
With local authorities to address the derailment and the fire that is occurring. We are very thankful to be working with the local authorities. And
Brazil is one of the countries that have been affected by coronavirus pandemic next to the United States of America. Brazil is reporting more deaths on a daily, leaving rationales in a scare.
Brazil runs out of oxygen in deadly second COVID wave. Brazil is home to the world's second deadliest coronavirus outbreak after the US. The country has reported more than 207,000 deaths. According to Johns Hopkins University, Manaus was one of the first Brazilian countries struck by a sparing death counter and case-led from the pandemic last year. The Brazilian state of Amazonas is running out of oxygen during a renewed surge in COVID-19 death, its government said on Thursday, with media reporting that one of respirators were dying of suffocation in hospitals. The state has made a dramatic appeal to the United States to send a military transport plane to the city Manaus with oxygen cylinders. Brazilian Health Minister Eduardo Pazuello said the hospital system in the country is collapsing from a second wave of COVID-19 and it is running out of oxygen. He said that the city's hospital were short of medical staffs as death surged again. With emergency services, the government announced a statewide curfew to the spread of coronavirus. During the devastating second wave, the health authorities said oxygen supplies had run out of some hospitals and intensive care wards were so full that many patients were airlifted to other states. Amazonas Health Secretary said the state needs almost 3 times more oxygen than it can produce locally and appealed for suppliers from other states. Nampijja Resty, MRU TV.